Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to week 13 of the 2017 football season. For this week, actually for the next 3 weeks, our Eagles will be on the road, but this week, traveling out to Seattle to what could be our toughest challenge of the season and playing the Seattle Seahawks. This last week, our Eagles played here at home against the Chicago Bears, and I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't see that coming. The kind of game that we played, I didn't see that coming because I truly believe that Chicago has a strong running game and has a very opportunistic defense. And I thought that between those two things and Trubisky playing better and better and mistake-free football was going to prove to be a very close game. But as we know, that didn't happen. The Eagles controlled the ball, controlled the offense, held their running game to 6 yards rushing total. Running backs for Chicago had -6 yards rushing for the entire game. Chicago didn't have a first down in the first half, and we rolled to a victory 31-3. Now, I do have to say, I have some pretty good fans out there of the Chicago Bears, which highlights what my top comment is of the week. I always have my staple people. I go over all the time. Renee with her positivity, Lenny with his score calling, and Josh always with his prayers for our teams, both teams, for no injuries. And we didn't have any significant injuries on either side, so I think that's a good thing. But I wanted to highlight 3 people. Tight end S, to one of them. No, 4 people. Elijah Michael. Let's see here. One other guy. Goldman Stacks. Bears fans that appreciated an Eagles channel that didn't just write off the Bears. Bears fans that like that I take my time to do my research and to respect the team that we're playing. But my top comment goes to PB Priest. Just like the other respectable Bears fans that you have, very much liked the content that I bring to this channel, to my videos, but also revisited the channel after the game and wished us good luck throughout the playoffs and the rest of the season. And I think that's a very classy move, and I very much appreciate fans not just of the Eagles, but of our opposing team when they can communicate in such a classy way, win or lose. So PB Priest, you get my comment of the week, top comment of the week, and I appreciate it. I hope to hear more from you in the future. I did take care of one of your other people. I think it's TDG54. Had an initial overall, the Bears are going to beat the Eagles comment. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But then had a comment saying that didn't appreciate our team running up the score on what was one of the worst teams in the league. Now, that's not the talk before the game saying that you're one of the worst teams in the league, and I didn't believe so, and I still don't. But then running up the score thing I thought was kind of interesting, because it was 24-0 at halftime, 31-3 as a final score, and I had to lay down some history for my friend TDG54, because if you look at the '85 Bears and what they did in week, I believe, 11 and 12 against Atlanta and against Dallas, they blew them out way worse onto a 15-1 record and a Super Bowl victory over the Patriots. So one thing that I do here is I study. I know my football, not just the Eagles, but I know a lot of the teams, and I go and do my homework. So come to this channel with something. I have no problem communicating back and forth, but at the same time, try to communicate with some class. And and don't forget, there's kids that actually watch this video as well. I'm still not forgetting my fans down in Cocoa Beach. Coach, I'm always going to give a shout out to you at least one time a season, and this is one of them. So when you are making comments, make sure to keep the kids in mind, because they watch too. But on to this week. Let's talk a little bit about Seattle, because this is a very interesting matchup, because this is touted as our big test. This is a big test for our Philadelphia Eagles, because we're going up against a team that knows how to win in the Super Bowl and knows how to get there. Within the last 4 years, Seattle has been in the Super Bowl twice, where they won one of them, and we all know how the other Super Bowl turned out. And this year, they're sitting at 7-4. If you look at the games that they've won and lost, they've really only beaten one contender, which was the Rams a couple of weeks ago, and they barely beat them. It was 16-10, and it came down to the last 2 plays of the game where if Kupp catches that ball, the Rams probably win that game 17-16. But that didn't happen, and Seattle won. They found a way to win, which brings me to my point. Seattle, man, Seattle is just a good team. At 7-4 right now, because of the tiebreaker with Atlanta, if the playoffs started today, they would actually not make the playoffs, which is crazy. That's how good the NFC is this year. But make no mistake about it, nobody wants to see Seattle in the playoffs because Seattle is so dangerous for this reason. Seattle is a team. Seattle has a strong defense. Now, the Legion of Boom has lost 2 of their 4 people, and they brought back Byron Maxwell that we know here in Philadelphia. So, yes, Seattle, be prepared for Eagles fans they're gonna trash talk a little bit Byron Maxwell because he came here and didn't do so well. Luckily, we were able to trade him to Miami. Didn't do so well there as well. And now he's back with you guys, where I think you guys will be able to utilize him a whole lot better than we were in Miami. But we don't like him too much here, and we hope to toast him with Torrey Smith like happened in the preseason. But even with Richard Sherman out and Cam Chancellor out, which is huge, they're still finding ways to win. Their defense, you can go through a lot of different players. They will find a way because they communicate. They know each other. They know that they need to communicate and fill in for each other's gaps, and that's dangerous for a defense. And also, just like I thought with Chicago, but Seattle has proven it over the last couple of years, they're very opportunistic, and they will be going for the football. So Philadelphia this week, we have to hold on to the football. We can't have fumbles like we did against Chicago. We can't be turning the ball over on the ground from our running backs, and we can't get interceptions and then fumble it on that either. We have to take every opportunity we can get. We have to play our game. We have a rushing offense that we can depend on. 176 yards rushing last week. We can depend on that. We have to stop their rush, which if you look at their stats, it's not crazy. They don't have a crazy rush offense. They're one of the few teams in the league also that rushes more running backs than we do. I mean, you got Rawls, you got Carson, you got Procise, you got Eddie Lacy, and you got Russell Wilson that actually is leading his team in rushing yards by almost like 200 yards. But we have to be disciplined. Our defensive line has to be disciplined, and our corners and our safeties have to match up very, very well against all those Baldwin, Richardson, and Graham. You got to match up against these guys, and you got to play tough the entire game. And you can't give up on any play because Russell Wilson could be running back there for days. But we got to stay within inside of ourselves. We got to continue to keep out the hate. Keep out the noise, keep out the hype. I know we're having a good time, and we're even doing the electric slide during the game. I saw that, and I like seeing my team enjoy themselves, but at the same time, we can't get wrapped up in that because we still have a wine thing. Last time I checked, Seattle has a trophy in their case now. We still don't. We're trying to. That's what we're trying to do this year. We're trying to prove that we got something this year, something special to the point of winning the whole thing. So we're headed into the hardest part of our schedule, and now we travel out to Seattle, travel out to LA to play the Rams, and travel out to the Giants. That's still a divisional game that we can't sleep on. But this week, we got to play a tough team, competitive team, a contender, and prove that we're the team to beat, no matter where the game is being played. When we expect the playoffs to be coming through here in Philly, let's start by going through Seattle this week and playing the Seahawks. So this week, our birds fly out to Seattle. Bird versus bird. Playing against a contender, an annual contender in the Seattle Seahawks. You're our measuring stick. You guys have a trophy in your case. But we think this year, it's our turn. But for us to be the best, we need to beat the best. And giving you guys respect, we think you're one of the best. So that means 12th man, get ready for the birds to come out and show that we're loud, we're proud, and we're ready to do something special. And I think we need to do it by starting and beating the Seattle Seahawks. Go Birds! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Beat Seattle!